So I recently went broke. Yeah, I recently went broke. The cost of me going broke was the fact that I did what I call a crazy investment. Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Emmanson Godknows, the brain behind EG Studio. And like I just said, I recently went broke, and what happened was I did what I call a crazy investment. So I had this particular job, this particular gig that just entered, and it was quite a good sum of money, and I wanted to acquire some gadgets for my catalog. I needed some gadgets in my business. So I took both the money I made from this gig, but the money that was in my account, added everything up, and I got some equipment. Now, within the time frame of doing that, like I didn't have any other money physically, so I spent almost everything in acquiring this gadget. I call it a crazy investment. But this is my emphasis. I never felt broke. I never felt poor. I never felt like I was going to beg somebody for money. You understand? Or I start feeling as if I was a poor man and all that. Okay, because why? Because what I did was I invested in my business. And funny thing is, in the period of doing this gig, while I was going out for the gig, I was negotiating business deals with other people in the process of me feeling as if I didn't have any money in my account. I didn't have that physical money. I knew money was coming again. I know I was going to get money in the nearest future. So even right there, I was discussing with potential clients, about 3 potential clients within that period. So there was no room for me to feel like I was poor. There was no room for me to feel like I was broke. There was no room for me to feel I was going to beg anybody for anything. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: the difference between a poor man and a rich man is that a rich man invests. A rich man always think of investing back to the business. But you see, a poor man is trying to, let me use the word, is trying to survive. So he's spending his money anyhow. The aim of being in business is not to show people that you have money. The aim of being in business is to build a brand for yourself and become rich. That's the difference between a rich man and a poor man. Or will I use the word a rich man in business and a poor man in business? Or I'll use another word, a man that is going to be successful in business and a man that is not going to be successful in business. And you see, these things are a function of your mind, because you're first poor in your mind and you're first rich in your mind. So because you have the mindset of being rich, you behave like a rich man. And you that have a mindset of being poor, oh, I can't have, you begin to think like a poor man. You begin to think how to survive. So you just had a gig and you just have money. First thing you're thinking of is food, food. You want to go and buy food and put in your kitchen. You want to stock food in your kitchen. All you're thinking is, let me survive. That means you're doing business for survival. That's the difference between a poor man and rich man. But you see, the rich man begins to think how much he's going to invest back to the business. The rich man begins to think of, what can I buy? What gadget can I add? What investment can I do with this particular money? Because you see, investment will definitely bring back money. That's the job. Investment regenerates money back. But you see, the food you're buying, I'm not saying buying food is wrong. I'm not saying surviving is wrong. But if all you're thinking of as a person in business, if all you're thinking of as a businessman is how to survive, then you have a wrong mindset. Okay, you have a terrible mindset. Let me use that word. So when you have a gig, you can divide the money into two. You take part of the money for your investment. Now the half of the money, you divide it into two. Take some for saving, then the other one you can use it to survive. You can use it to buy food. You can use it to buy clothes. The aim, you're not in business to show people that you have money. Okay, you're not in business to show people that you have money. In being rich is not by the appearance, the whole show off, the clothes you wear, the nice shoe you wear, the car you drive. Basically, people who have money don't need to prove to anybody that they have money. Everybody just know that they have money. Literally, everybody just know they have money. They don't prove to you that they have money. So poor people, they try to prove, they try to feel among, and because of that, their mindsets are wrong. A rich man is also someone who invests in other people and make other people rich. So you see, because one of the best assets, I repeat, one of the best assets is people. there are a lot of assets we have. You can have so many assets, but one of the most important assets is people. When you invest in people, you will never be poor. Mark my words. I know you're like, Emmanson, so if I have money now, I should take it and go and invest in somebody instead of me buying gadget and the rest. Yeah, you can do that, but when you invest in a person, if you invest in somebody to the degree the person becomes like you, so if you any amount of money you generate, the person you've invested in can regenerate that kind of money for you. Do you understand? So the best investment in people. You see, poor people, what poor people are thinking is how to collect. Poor people are very selfish. Poor people are very selfish. So they are thinking of only themselves. They're not even thinking of any other external factor. They're thinking of themselves, me, myself, and I. That's the mindset of a poor man. The mindset of a rich man is to bring wealth to a community of people. All right. So he's taking his time to invest and add value to people around him. And those people around him will return money back to him. I'll give you an example. I've for a period of time I've done photography for about 5 years, and I've invested in some people by teaching them photography. Now, if there's a gig and I'm not available, I send them to go for the gig, and they go for the gig. You don't need to see me in the gig. You don't need to see me for that particular job. I just send them to go. There's some job you call me for, and the money is not that pleasant. I send my students to go and cover the job, but the money comes back to me, and then I remove from the money and give them their own part. Do you understand? Because I've been able to invest in people, and the people I've invested in are doing what? Returning back the money. So you take a rich man thinks of investment. A poor man thinks of what? Self. He's not thinking of investment, he's thinking of himself, he's thinking of consumption. A poor man is thinking of consumption. So if you're watching this right now, just know that you're not a poor man, you are a rich man. You are destined to be rich. So start thinking and behaving. It's not just thinking it. When you're done thinking it, start behaving and start doing what it takes and what rich people do. Okay, think like that. With this few points of mine, I believe I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that being broke as a rich man is better than being broke as a poor man. Okay, so try and be broke as a rich man, but make sure you invest whatever you do. See you in my next video. Double salutes.